Today, we're taking the show on the road. Frankfort, Kentucky. Everyone knows them. You either love them or you hate them. Today, we're going on tour at Buffalo Trace. Let's see what we can get into. Welcome to the Everyday Pour. I'm David.
And I'm Brandy.
And today we're touring Buffalo Trace Distillery. What are your thoughts on Buffalo Trace?
Well, you know I like Buffalo Trace.
What about their other products?
I mean, it's okay. I do like Buffalo Trace though.
Buffalo Trace is pretty good. Blanton's, Eagle Rare, good stuff. Oftentimes overpriced. So, regardless of that, let's go see where it's made. I'm excited to do this tour. Had to book out 2 months ago for this one.
Yeah.
So these tours are not easy to come by, but they are free. So that's cool. Also smell that mash in the air. It's a beautiful smell.
Yup.
Not a bad day to, it's pretty out here today.
It is.
A little warm.
Little.
But I'm probably gonna sweat a little bit.
Probably.
But it could be worse. It could be like coming a thunderstorm, pouring down rain, downpour.
Be careful what you put out there in the universe, sir.
That's true. I mean, look at the sky right now though, and it's lots of sun. All these people coming out with their boxes.
Smell it now. Big whiff. Now on to the visitor center.
The grounds out here are beautiful. This place is old. It looks it, but still, same time. Hey, how are you doing?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing well. Walking to the visitor center, see what they have. I think they have Blanton's and E.H. Taylor today.
Thanks so.
Let's go find out.
We got a smaller group. Like I said, there's supposed to be 28 here. Since we're a smaller group, we can actually go a little bit faster and everything, and we can talk about a lot more. I'll be able to show you just a little bit more than a normal show. Okay? Like I said, my name is Ed. We'll be your tour guide today. Welcome to Buffalo Trace. We are the oldest continually operating distillery in the country. We've been through fires. We've been through 10 floods now. We have been through wars. We have been through, been through a prohibition. We continue to operate through Prohibition. We're going to talk about that. Now, our first record of distillation occurred in 1786. The Lees had established a warehouse here and a trading post. So they were trading with other expeditions that were expanding out westward. This was the Wild Wild West back in the day. So these other expeditions would follow the buffalo trails to and from the different forts and other settlements out here. Those buffalo, over thousands of years and millions of buffalo, would carve these deep roads, grooves, into the land out here. This was a major crossing back here for the buffalo at the time, to cross the Kentucky River. It was called the Great Buffalo Crossing, or the Great Buffalo Trace. So in 1999, when they rebranded the company here, they named it Buffalo Trace, to honor that legacy of those buffalo that basically brought our pioneers here, right?
Yeah, you remember what I said about beautiful day and no rain clouds?
You probably heard about our flood we had back in the first week of April. It's the 10th flood that we've had here, but it was pretty close to the worst one. If you want to get an idea how extensive the flooding was, because you can look here and it was like at the windows, bottom of the windows. You go over there, you're going to see or in here, it's two barrels high. You go back to where you guys were standing in the line, the metal sided building there, warehouse H, it was up to the 2nd floor.
Wow.
So it's, all over. But if you go up in the garden up here, there's a limestone statue of a buffalo. That's Thunder 1. This is Thunder 2. The water came up to basically his chest. So you could take and stand at Thunder and you can go look out over the entire distillery and see how extensive the flooding was. And we were back up and running in 2 weeks. Warehouse A is now the visitor center. You look at it, it's only 2 stories. Not too much ventilation to it and everything. It was built to this Scottish style, which really doesn't work to our environment out here. It's a lot hot and humid, right? It's not Ireland. They used to take and stack the barrels on top of each other. And the problem with that was, number one, there was a lot of weight. So if you go up to the 2nd story and you look at our floors up there, which are the original floors, they actually undulate, right? It's from the weight of the barrels pressing down on them. The other thing was, the weight of the barrels on the top would weigh down on the barrels on the bottom, and they would cause them to leak. So you look at our floors up there, and all that staining, that's original staining from the 1880s. Because Taylor was all about the best. He was all about the finest. I mean, he wore 100 different suits, or he had 100 different tailored suits, and he wore 4 a day. He would constantly change his suits, so nobody would see him in the same suit twice. Everything, right? He had 7 walking sticks, 1 for each day of the week, with a gold top on it. He wanted everybody to know that he was a bourbon aristocrat, but he loved the latest and greatest technology. If he were alive today, he'd probably be rocking the latest cell phone, driving a Tesla, and living in a smart house. The latest, greatest technologies that Taylor found was steam heating. He discovered that at 45 degrees, our barrels stop aging. They just go dormant. Well, we want to age through the winter. So he installed steam heating in all his warehouses. In the winter, we close the windows and we turn on the steam heat. We still use steam heat today. We built 20 new warehouses on top of the rise over here. We got 20 new warehouses going down 2 hours south of here. Each one the size of a football field, 10 levels high, and it's still steam heated. Back in 2006, we had an EF1 tornado hit the warehouse C here, right? If you take a look at the top there, you can see how much damage it did to the brick and everything, and it peeled the roof back. It also damaged our elevator. So they couldn't get up there for 9 months to get to those barrels. And they just sat up there in the sun and the wind and the rain and the snow for 9 months. They just figured, okay, they're gonna be a write-off. So they went up there and they tasted it, and they could finally get up there. Turned out that it was looking to be some of the best bourbon they've ever made. Mother Nature, kind to us. So, 2011, they bottled it, sold it for $70 down here in the gift shop, and they called it the E.H. Taylor Warehouse C 2006 Tornado Survivor. Right? $70 a bottle in 2011. If you have it today, you can sell it for $15,000 on the market. This is the branding shed. These are where the pits, these cement spots are where the pits used to be at. And there were the open pits, heat those brands, barrels would come rolling in, burn the side of it and everything, so they continue on. That's why they located the fire station right next to it. And put a 150,000 gallon water tank right above the pit. Like we said, now we use a silk screen process in our sister room that just basically paints the mash bill and the name on the side of the barrel. Now you remember I was talking about that absorption that we get. As soon as we fill that brand new charred barrel, we lose 3 or 4 gallons right off the bat, absorbing in the wood. You can actually see it when you take apart a barrel. See this little darker line right here? That's actually what we call the soak line. Some people call it the devil's cut. Right? Barrel number 4 char, put on the fire 55 seconds to give us this alligator char. So that right there is the devil's cut of the soak line. So the barrels, when they go through the branding shed, like this morning they got 1,276 barrels right there, or actually the last shipment was 1,276. If we were full production Sundays, we kind of shut down. The barrels take and work their way in a conveyor back over here to the cistern room. We have all these tanks right here that are full with distillate and everything, and they will fill the barrels. They generally fill them about 4 at a time, 53 gallons apiece. They cork them with what we call a bung, and that is called a bung hole. So all you Beavis and Butthead friends, yes, there is a bung hole. And then it works its way down our little railroad track system that we have here to wherever its final destination. That's part of the magic of Buffalo Trace. We're talking about how we can only use a barrel once. Well, we have a whole secondary life to a barrel out there, and we sell to a secondary market. Breweries out there buy our used barrels for barrel-aged products. You know, we send them down to Mexico for barrel-aged tequila. We send them out to Scotland and Ireland for Scotch and Irish whiskey. You know, there's a whole bunch of things. They even had some barrel-aged pickles a couple weeks ago. We actually have our own wood shop on campus here called Whiskey Woodcraft. They take these barrels and they make different things out of furniture, coasters, all kinds of some beautiful furniture that you can find made from our barrels. The other thing they do is custom barrel heads, so they can put anything on a barrel head for you. So it makes a great wedding gift or something like that. You know, you put the name or whatever, and it comes with that copper Buffalo Trace seal. All those flavors and, you know, the little off flavors and stuff like that, and odors, but these are smart. So the barrels at the top of the warehouse typically last about 3-4 years, and then we dump them, and they become something like Benchmark or Ancient Age. Some of our younger, but still pretty good bourbons. Middle of the warehouse is kind of like the middle of your house. A little more temperate and everything, your living room, bedroom, you know, kitchen and stuff. That right there, same as our warehouse. Those barrels are only expanding and contracting, you know, a little less frequently. You know, so they age a little bit better, lose less. So that's where E.H. Taylor, Buffalo Trace is at, are 6 to 8 year olds. Get down to the bottom of the warehouse, that's where it's cooler. It's like the basement of your house or the cellar. Those barrels are slowly aging. They're slowly expanding, pulling that distillate into the wood, and then slowly pushing it back out again. Every cycle, it takes weeks to months to take and get a cycle going. So we can age them down there much longer. That's where our decades old stuff is, or Eagle Rare, or Pappy Van Winkles and stuff, right? Right? And these rig systems are really cool because we can take, we know where all the barrels are at. We know we got a pretty good idea what they're gonna do. So there's 2,000 different components or factors that they have to take into account when making or aging bourbons. This warehouse, they even take into account the shade that the water tower throws on it part of the year. Because barrels on this side of the warehouse are going to age differently than barrels on that side of the warehouse where they get the shade. Some of our warehouses have cement floors, like this one right here. Some of them have dirt floors. Some of them have just wood floors. Some of our warehouses are vertically ventilated. So you can see, this goes all the way up to the ceiling. So the air flows all the way around. Some of our warehouses, that's all closed off. So we're horizontally ventilated from just the windows. Come on in. Oh, I wish you were running. I love it when it's running. The people in here are so wonderful. Every bottle of blends in the world, with the exception of 50 milliliter bottles, come through here. Right? They're all hand bottled. You've all heard about our bourbons. We talked about our bourbons and our whiskeys and everything, right? But, and this is what you all came here for, we're going to start you off with a vodka. Go ahead and give this one a taste. Nice and smooth, right? That is not that bottle of regret we were drinking back in college, or in my case, the barracks. That Russian rocket fuel, right? Nice and smooth, $17 a bottle, and it comes in a glass bottle too, so you can still feel bougie when you show up with a bottle. So, but you didn't come here for the vodka, you came here for the bourbons. Next one we got is Buffalo Trace. This is our flagship bourbon. Came out in 1999 when we rebranded the company, or the name Buffalo Trace here at the distillery. It's a good, solid, all-around bourbon. You know, you can drink it neat, you can put it on the rocks, you can have it in a cocktail, you can put it in a slush. We're not going to throw shade on you on how you drink it, we just want you to drink it. Right? We have 1.8 million barrels aging right now, the majority are slated for Buffalo Trace. We don't want you stuck with it. Right? Drink it. It's $27 a bottle. 12 years ago it was $27 a bottle. 12 years from now we're going to try to keep it $27 a bottle. That's our pledge, because we want everybody to drink it. Right? But you should always pick up an oak. In a bourbon, you should always have an oak flavor. You should have a caramel flavor. right? Because we talked about those caramelized sugars that come from the white oak when we char it. And you should always have somewhat of a vanilla flavor in there also. You know, the same thing, the vanilla is from the wood. 70–80% of your flavoring comes from the wood. Now, next one you got is E.H. Taylor. E.H. Taylor is a bottle and bond, which means it can be at least 100 proof. Or actually, it can't be. It has to be 100 proof by law. It comes from a little bit higher in the warehouse than the Buffalo Trace, but it's the same recipe. You'd be amazed at how much a 10 proof difference can make in the way of bourbon tastes. Right? What do you think? A little higher. But some people, there's people who prefer the 90s, there's other people who prefer the 100s. Right? Still a good all-around bourbon. I'm not going to complain about it. E.H. Taylor.
I don't care. It's better than
E.H. Taylor made a very good product back in the day. All right, so the last one, those of you who didn't, go ahead. The last one is our rye whiskey. Remember we talked about how bourbon had to be
this
100, or excuse me, 51% or more corn, right? This is 51% or more rye. Rye is a hotter, spicier grain. Go ahead and taste it, but only leave about half. You're gonna have to save that last bit there because we're gonna play a game. Okay? What do you think? A little spicier, a little hotter?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, in front of you you have a bourbon ball from Rebecca Ruth Candy Company here in Frankfurt. So back in 1919, two substitute teachers, oh you found it? Okay. Two substitute teachers named Rebecca and Ruth started their own independent candy company before they could even vote or drive a car legally. Fourth generation family owned business, still going strong today. It's a Frankfurt staple.
That's good.
All right? What do you think?
I like it like that.
You like it like that?
No, it's fine.
But that give that chocolate or that sweetness, mix it with a little bit of the rye, and it's a whole different experience. Basically, the spice of the rye offsets the sweetness of the chocolate, right? And it opens up another level to your palate.
All right, so we just finished the Buffalo Trace tour. It was a pretty okay tour. You don't get to see, well, it's a Sunday for one, so nothing's operational today. Did not get to see any of the bottling lines with the exception of the Blanton's line.
And it wasn't running today because it's Sunday.
Yeah, nothing was running. Did not get to go into anywhere where they're fermenting or distilling. Maybe those are for some other tours. If you know, let us know in the comments. They may be worth looking into, coming up here and booking out 2 months in advance for. Overall, what was your impressions?
I mean, it was all right. It was not my most favorite tour of all. I do like the grounds here, and I feel like maybe we could have come across to some of the prettier areas like this for part of the tour. More shade would have been nice. It's definitely hot today.
Although, Ed, was his name Ed?
Ed, he was pretty good.
Ed did try to keep us in the shade as much as possible.
Yeah.
It was kind of a cool tour. I think there's a lot more they could do. Like I said, I think I'm guessing those are some other tours. They separate everything out instead of just doing one big ass tour. But overall, not bad. You know, we intended to do this one as come up the day before, stay the night up here.
And have it more leisurely, but plans changed.
Other circumstances dictated that we do a 1 day, drive 4 hours, do the tour, drive 4 hours back. So I think we're gonna go to Costco over in Louisville and see if we can find any good prices over there. That may be another video to watch for, or if we don't find anything, it won't be another video. So I guess it just all depends.
All right, guys, until next time, remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Until next time,
Cheers. Y'all. We're gonna come up on the back end of a buffalo.